Hi, welcome back to our channel, which we focus on how can you be able to use QuickBooks desktop to create or to do one or two things concerning your company. Today, we focus on how can you be able to add job to a customer. How can you be able to create or add job to a customer? When are you going to be using these type of features? In QuickBooks, you can use add job in your QuickBooks desktop in case you want to use your software or you want to use QuickBooks to manage or to track your project. If you are into construction, for example, if you are into construction company or you are into business that deal with rendering service to a particular company based on creating different projects. For example, if you have a customer A and this customer A, it can give you job of different formats and you want to be able to track all the expenses you incur on that particular job that each particular customer has given to you. That is when you are saying that okay, you can be able to use this add job feature. Typical example of this one is when you are into construction company, as I've said earlier. Another one is you are a law firm. Another one is accounting firm. That is to say, a particular company can give you a particular service or a particular project many times, and you want to be keeping the track of all the expenses you spend on that particular project or on that particular service. For example, another example is if you are a law firm, you have a client that always give you lawsuit. Today, you have a lawsuit. That lawsuit has number, lawsuit 111222, for example. The same customer can also come and give you another lawsuit, which is going to be lawsuit 555667. Another example. So, as you are spending money on a particular lawsuit, you want to know how much have you spent so far so good. The same thing with construction company. You have a project AB, that is ID of that project, and you want to know how much you have spent on that particular project. So as this particular customer is giving you different project, you want to know how much you have spent on each project you have executed for this particular customer. So for you to be able to do this, you will need to be able to add job under this particular customer. As the customer is giving you project or is has given you a project to be done or has given you job to be done, be creating different job ID under the same customer, meaning that you are going to create that customer once. So but you are going to be creating the job as is coming under that particular customer so that you are able to track the expenses you have incurred on that particular project, as well as the invoice you are giving to that particular customer on that particular project. So that is where you will need what they call add job. So and that is where typical way of using it. But if you are not, if you know that your customer, your company doesn't run that such a project, you don't run such a typical example, you don't need to do that one. Just create the customer and do what? Add the invoice. So you don't need to be tracking the expenses you incur for each project. Now, for you to be able to create add job, we have done how can we be able to create customer in our previous tutorial. Today, we are going to how can we be able to add or create job under each project and other information concerning that one. So if you want to create job now on the particular customer, you go to customer menu, customer center, you will see the list of all the customer available. If it's not there, you can create new customer just the way we have done concerning how to create new customer in our last tutorial. This is one of the sample of the customers that we have there. And how to create job under it. I can do that one in two ways. The first way is that I click on that particular customer, I will go to edit and I will click add job. It's going to give me this particular environment, or I will right click on the customer and I will click add job. You see there, it's the same thing. So these are the two ways of doing that. Under the job name, I can do two things there. Under job name, I can say I want to use job ID. Let's say job ID is JOJB 56, and this is job ID I want to use. And under that one, I can come to job information. If you look at this one very well, you see that is the detail about that customer that is coming up here. So I come to job information. This is where I'm going to give description. Let's say the construction of roads. I'll just put construction. I just describe it. Construction of Maryland Road. That's it. Under job type, this is it for commercial purpose or residential purpose? Or I want to add more type. I can say I can have a job that is construction. I can have a job that is not construction, that is something like tiling or building. I can have different type of, so I can add more. So if I want to add, just click add to add another type. So for training purpose, I want to add this new one so that I say construction. Construction, that's the type I want to use. Construction, that's the type. I can create as many as possible. Now, job status. This one, it is in pending, awarded, in progress. When you are doing it at initial stage, it's in progress. If you have finished and you have delivered it, you can easily come to what you have created and click it close, not awarded. Because there's some time, meaning that you have already created the job, but you have been running for it, but at the end of the day, there's no agreement between this customer and your company. So you can create it and click not awarded, mean that you are not the one who have been awarded the job. But now we assume that it has been awarded to you, that's why you are creating it. So it's in progress. But if they have paid, then you select the starting date. Let's say started this, and project estimate date that you think you have estimated end date that you think that you can finish the job. If it's 3 months that you have projected it, you click it. And at the end of the day, this is what you have projected, but you are thinking that it can be more than one. But this one doesn't mean that you have to fill everything. Start date and the other date that you are doing, meaning that it's just an assumption. You can easily come back and edit it, which you are going to do. After you have done this one, if there's other information you want this job to cover, for example, if you look at it, you want to keep the record of supervisor that is supervising the project, you want to keep the record of the locations, you want to keep the record of magnitude, you want to keep the record of the size. All dis one are not there, but you want to be part of what you are going to keep as a part of the record of that particular project. You can now come to additional info to create those field for yourself. So you come to additional info and click define field. Dis define field, that's where you are going to enter the remaining information that is not by default with the software. So for example, I want you to keep the name of the supervisor. I just type supervisor, supervisor name. Then I mark it as under custom, under customer. So then location, I enter location. I'm just creating more information about that particular project. I have to make under the cost, meaning customer. Then let's say size of the project. Then I mark it. If it's more than that one, I continue until when I've entered all the remaining field I want them to be included, and then click OK. So I click OK here. You are going to see that it's going to be part of what I'm going to enter, and then I will enter supervisor, Mr. John. I can now enter the remaining information, Mr. John. Sorry, Mr. John. Then location, let's say Maryland, Maryland, and size, let's say 200 by 400 meter, and so on and so forth. After I've done that one, I click OK. You have seen that it has put it under that particular customer. If this particular customer is also bringing another information, I'll still do the same to make sure that I created it. That is how to create all the job under a particular customer. Thank you very much for watching. You can subscribe to our channel to receive more information every week. Thank you very much.